Hello guys, I am approaching Moynihan Train Hall in New York. There's the Empire State Building, was there earlier. And yeah, today I'm going to be riding the Acela, fastest train in North America, other than the Acelias, but they're not in service yet, so yeah. Let's get into it. Here we are, approaching the main train hall. Very nice. There's one of the announcements. Yeah, here's the main room. Wow, it's very beautiful. Reason why I stopped a second ago was because I was looking for my train. But yeah, amazing. We're here at like 5 a.m. to catch, because it was, I don't know, so I can see. Actually, I don't really know. We just booked it at 5 a.m. We hadn't really had a reason for it, but because we wanted to get out of New York. So yeah, get to you when we get to our track. We are now departing Penn Station on our way to Boston. Our first stop today will be New Haven, Connecticut. I think I'm going to switch to voiceover. Now, this is better. The reason I do voiceovers in some of my videos is just because I don't want to disturb the people around me. So yeah, here we are going through the tunnels, like exiting Penn Station. After that pretty large tunnel, those tunnels are really huge, like going in and out of Penn Station. We exited into like this little area around Sunnyside Yard. Sunnyside Yard's like Amtrak's yard in like the New York area. It's on the other side though, so I missed it. You can see the Am fleets. But these seats were like, they were very comfortable. Like I'd say they may even be more comfortable than the seats on the Am fleets. The vibe in the cars were like also really nice. Like people weren't loud and it was relatively quiet. Like no one was like talking or making loud noises, and no kids had like their video up to like the max volume like you see on the Northeast Regional sometimes. But yeah, the views were pretty good as we got to Connecticut. More of that later because I was recording there. But yeah, here's just us passing Sunnyside Yard. Nothing really much. You can see some just maintenance away equipment and yard equipment and stuff like that over there. Yeah, the Acela, I'm just going to say this real quick, but the Acela, there's a Metro North train, but I felt like it didn't go as fast as I thought it would be. Mind the dog barking, we have people over and my dog's freaking out. But yeah, it didn't really meet my expectations when it came to speed, but when it came to like comfort, yeah, it was very comfortable. And the tracks on the Northeast Corridor felt pretty nice. There were some points where it felt like the tracks were kind of sketchy, but overall it was pretty nice. On this side, we had nothing much, but yeah, here we are picking up speed, exiting like the New York area. And yeah, I think through here we were going like 80 maybe, but we left it around like very early in the morning again. I think I've already stated that, but if not, yeah, we left really in the morning, so the sun was like not very high up, so it was really beautiful. Here's a water treatment plant. I don't really know if you want to see that, but you did. And there's that river over there. This bridge is really pretty because it's pretty old, I think. Here's me I was walking to the cafe car to get some food because I was starving, and I just wanted to give you a tour while I did that. The vestibules are actually pretty cool, I think.
I think the reason it was so quiet was because most people were sleeping or working. So yeah. So the cafe car was pretty unique when it comes to like the walk entrance. You can see it's got like the thing. I don't really know what to call it, but like you have like the cafe wall, and it forms like a walkway that's really cool. I ended up just getting like a cheese plate from the cafe, but yeah, it's a really nice. I really like their cafe cars. I found me a seat in the cafe car. And yeah, I was just enjoying the views. One thing I just realized, like while doing the voiceovers, how much I say, it just keeps cracking me up, like as I edit it. I just said it again. But yes, I got a cheese tray. I don't know if they're gonna sue me because I included their product, but hopefully not. Here we are approaching New Rochelle. I was eating a cheese and cracker sandwich. I think that's what that is. There's tons of like graffiti on like the side walls, which to me I felt was kind of cool, but because like it just gave me something to look at. And the windows I felt in the Acela were very nice and big, which is good because I want to see the views, especially when you get up to like Connecticut. I just said it again. I'm gonna have a counter. But yes, they were out of some stuff when I was there, and I feel like that I don't know if that's a common issue when it comes to Northeast trains. But hopefully not, because if so, then that's not good. But yeah. So it's about that time that I do a seat review. So in our seat, we had a booth seat. So we had like a table, which is pretty nice. I'm going to get more back on our seats in a second. We're currently, in this moment, we're passing through Rye, I think. And early in the trip, the scenery was kind of like boring because we were just going through like tiny towns. But later in the trip, again, when we get up like to like Connecticut, it's really nice. But back to the seat review part, you have the old in-seat entertainment system, which a lot of YouTubers have mentioned, but look at it, it's so funny. It doesn't work, but it's still pretty cool. That big button you see is the recline seat. It is a pretty generous recline. Here is the table, which folds out. Here's the menu if you want to look at it. Just pause. Here's the stuff, alcoholic drinks. And then here's some of the food. I didn't get any because, like, any of, like, the actual meals. But I think they have the cheese tray on the menu, but, like, for snacks. But I didn't get an actual meal because I wasn't there during, like, a meal time. I think here is Greenwich, right here. I don't know much about Greenwich, so I'm not even going to try to say something about it. But, yeah, we went through there. Real quick, I want to mention these little rock walls that I kept seeing. I don't really know exactly what they're from, but you can see them. Here is Stamford, a town in Connecticut, I think. I believe it's in Connecticut. I saw a lot of CT rail trains on my visit, which is pretty, just because we're going through that area. The Acela stops in Stamford, Connecticut. So, yeah, that's one of its stops. Don't know how long it stops or any info on it, but yeah. But once we got moving, I saw something very interesting. A welded rail train. If you're not a rail fan, what a welded rail train is essentially when the railroads carry continuously welded rail on the train. Pretty simple. This is a Metro North train. You can see the Jeeps, I think that's what they were. I keep saying that, and it's getting on my nerves. But here we are in like one of the more slightly scenic areas, kind of, because it's still like the countryside. Well, not countryside, but it's still like just buildings and. Right here we come across some gondolas. I don't know exactly what they were for, but hey, I think they were for like railroad ties or something along those lines. Here's an old tower, I believe, from the Pennsylvania Railroad, and here's a CT rail yard with tons of their electric MUs. There's also like the maintenance shops here, and I remember seeing one of these shops that had like a P42. Here's one of them up close, the MUs. But Metro North does have P42s, or rather P32s, which are like P42s but with like third rail capabilities. Third rail is essentially like catenary but on the ground, kinda, and like. It's a third rail that's like electric. Most subways use them. So after we passed that, we went back to just like the general landscape of like the earlier part of the trip, which is just like this. Which, I mean, I'm a big city person, so I thought it was pretty nice. But if you if the rest of the trip is kind of for you, because like there's certain areas where there's like it's really beautiful. Here we come up on another Metro North yard. We see quite a few of these on our trip to Boston. There's a CT rail Jeep, I believe, and a P42 back there that's Amtrak. I think it's actually a P32 right there, maybe. I don't know. As soon as we passed that yard, we entered the New Haven station. And we had a decently long stop here. I think it was like 10 minutes or so. You can see some P32s and CT rail MUs around. The New Haven station to me I thought it was pretty neat. Just like the way it was, I don't know how to describe it, but I thought it was pretty neat. Here we depart New Haven, and we see a couple more CT rail trains as we depart. I found that there's, like, I thought Metro North was, like, beforehand, I thought Metro North was, like, had, like, only, like, P32s. But on this trip, I've realized that they also operate MUs. I knew they had MUs, but I didn't know they had more MUs than, like, P32s. Because I may be completely wrong, and there may be more P32s than MUs, but I don't know. I just didn't know they had that many MUs, before I did this trip. You always learn so much from travels. Here we go around this curve. I just want to show you guys this. Nothing really particularly cool about this. Just wanted to show you guys this curve in New Haven. And here's some more of that graffiti on, like, the side walls. Here we are starting to get into the more rural areas, the more like beautiful, beautiful areas. We go through more of these like stone areas and stuff. And here is some of the most beautiful parts of this trip, I think. At this point, we were going like 145, which is the fastest we were on the trip. I was like so shocked. Like, I knew we were going to go this fast, but yeah. If you want the proof, then it should be right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 1:09, I think. 1:27 actually. But yeah, really fast. Fastest I've ever been on a land vehicle, I think. But yeah, this area is pretty beautiful. Here's more of this beautiful Connecticut like countryside. I didn't know Connecticut had like that much like unused, like I didn't know it had that much like I didn't know it had like such a big countryside. And I didn't know the Acela had such a scenic route. Like beforehand, I thought it was just like your average. Before I thought the Northeast Corridor in general was just like going through like all the big cities, and there was like no countryside at all. But again, travels make you learn things. I went back to the cafe to get some more food, and as I was ordering, we passed through this really cool area, and it's right here. And this was like so beautiful. Like this is so beautiful. Like I didn't think it was gonna be this scenic when I first, was told that we were gonna be riding the Acela. Like look at this beach. I did not know Connecticut had this. Here's more of those rock walls. And more like the ocean. This is just so pretty. I don't know exactly if this is the Atlantic Ocean or like a bay, but I'm pretty sure it's the Atlantic Ocean. Here's this harbor right here, and there was so much fog on this portion of the trip. It was like insane. Like it was crazy. Like see? That's so cool to me. Here we went over this not old, but bridge. And I think right here for a second we lost electrification. I think this is that one place on the Northeast Corridor where trains lose their electrification. I think because I believe there's a place on the Northeast Corridor where it's like a drawbridge and they lose electrification for a split second, but then they get it back after that. Here's some more of that fog. It was crazy, how much fog there was in this area. And yes, this is outside right here. This is insane. It was so foggy. Look. It was very mysterious. And the craziest part was the town we were going through was called Mystic. And it cracked me up because it's mysterious and it's mystic. The city's named Mystic. But it was insane, the fog. It was it's just insane. Here's some more of that fog. I just can't get over how cool it is. The weirdest part is like almost as soon as we passed it, it like just went back to normal. It just like cleared up and then it was just normal like 8 minutes later. Which is pretty crazy. I wonder if like the weather in Connecticut's like weird. Because, I don't know, maybe when I get older I'll probably move there just because it's such a nice state for rail fanning when it comes to like the Northeast Corridor. Time for another little seat review because I feel like I get distracted every time. But it has really nice curtains. The seats are very plush. Here's the entertainment system again. And yeah, it's really nice. It has like an armrest in the middle. Very neat. There's a safety manual down there. And there's a couple outlets too, which is crazy. They have 4 outlets for each seat. Here's the reading lights up there. Here we went through a tunnel that very much reminded me of the tunnel going into Penn Station. Just because it was just so similar. Here we began to pick up speed again. I think like almost as fast as we were going through like the fog and stuff. And we are getting really close to Boston, and I knew because we passed an MBTA train. I think this is as we were approaching Providence, Rhode Island. Remember guys, if you're enjoying like my videos, please like and subscribe because I don't have that many subscribers. And just tell me what I could work on in the future when it comes to like making these videos. Here we went through this station, which is kind of weird, and I have a question for you guys. And if you know, can you tell me in the comments? And that is, why is this station called Route? Why does it have Route 1? Why is it called Route 128? Okay, now for my little review of this train before the video ends, because we're approaching Back Bay, which is my stop, therefore the end of the video. I will start this now. Again, this is all my opinion. So, first things first, I'm going to discuss the price. The price is absurdly high, and I think it should be like $80 cheaper per person. When it comes to the experience, it's way better than you'd get on like the Northeast Regional. You just don't have as many people, and it's not as loud and crowded. Okay, now for the thing that makes Acela most stand out, the speed. In reality, I don't think it's much faster than the Northeast Regional. I think it's just like a marketing thing. But I will say, I do like the Acela. And I think if you want to ride it, you should. Just because it is a very nice experience, and I love it. And I think if you want to do it, you should do it. Anyways, this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Astro Brady out.